Hey guys, what is up? NYK31 here. Madden 21. Going to do a little bit of a state of the game review slash commentary, whatever you want to call it. We're in mid-October now. We're a couple of months into the Madden 21 cycle, and just want to kind of touch on where we're at with the game. What has our experience been with it, good, bad, in between, and all of that. And I've been talking on Twitter about my impressions as far as where we're at after I've lost track of what update we're on now, but we've had several updates now since the release of the game, and with a wide array of comments on them. And I've been DMing guys and all of that, and talking about where I'm at with the game, and I've been pretty much been more now into my online league world. But as far as where we stand right now, the best way I can put it for myself is when the game came out in the first, I would say, month of the game, I posted on Twitter that my impression of the game was that it felt like the game that Madden 20 should have been. It felt pretty balanced, coming from the beta to release. Outside of the stuff that I knew needed to be cleaned up from my, time and feedback doing it, but I felt like the game had the potential to be the most enjoyable Madden that we've had in quite some time. Madden 20, in my opinion, was a Madden year that was more endured than enjoyed, and I felt really, really optimistic. The fields felt nice and spacey. Routes were being run nice and crisp. There was a fair amount of diversity as far as what I was seeing people play, both offensively and also trying to piece together what would work defensively. And defense out of the gate was pretty tough. And truth be told, I believe that's a good thing. It should be. I believe the game should favor the offense. That's the way the sport has moved. But it needs to do it for the right reasons, which we'll get into a little bit later on in this discussion. But I felt like if they just cleaned up a couple of things, mainly along the front seven defensively and coverage reactions on the back end, just buggy stuff like that, I thought we'd be just fine. Now, fast forward into mid-October, and in the word of Hollywood Sports, who tuned into one of my online league live streams, it now feels like we're playing Madden 20 all over again. The running game, dominant. And when you combine the dominant running game, what has happened defensively is that Blitz 7 meta from last year has been replaced by man press meta. So now you have everybody running the football because everyone, if you're a muck guy, is stacking their secondaries with man coverage abilities. And it's just a headache. It's monotonous and just tedious to play against. We had the Madden Voice Forum, and the feedback on the Madden Voice Forum was overwhelmingly one of the most talked about topics on the Madden Voice Forum was that the front seven is not being impactful in the run game. They're not getting off of blocks. They're not shooting gaps. They're not pursuing. They're not tackling. The only way you're playing run defense is if you make the play yourself as a user, because your guys up front, they're not putting any resistance. They're not getting any penetration, and you can just march the ball right down the field in the run game, regardless of the quality of the linemen. Our forced defenders are non-existent. Lawrence Taylor is getting cleaned out by tight ends, things like that. What they did with the pass rush controls, complete flop. No one is using defensive linemen. I've come across hardly anyone that's using them. And what makes it worse is that the AI is not triggering those pass rush moves. They replace a large portion of the pass rush abilities with those pass rush moves like El Toro, Rip, Spin, Club, which they designed the game to be user controlled. The only AI pass rush ability that you have that does anything is Edge Threat. There's nothing for the interior guys this year. There's no power specialist or finesse specialist or anything like that. Now, they did tune the AI pass rush in the last update, and it's a smidge better, but what it brought back now are the double team splits off of 3-man pass rushes. So we're back to 3-man pass rushes being more effective than 4-man rushes. Guys with high strength and high power moves are splitting through double teams better than when they do when they're matched up one on one. So now we've gone back to this game, which is very casual, very little Timmy friendly again. We're right back to that. Now, I get it. Us diehards and people who know a lot about football and also know a lot about how the game works, we're not the mass market. The casual is the mass market. And, you know, whenever I say, or whenever people say that Madden is too difficult for the casual gamer, some people think, mainly the Madden, detractors out there, people think that you're nuts, but it's really true. You'd be amazed at how many people just don't know how to do basic D-pad adjustments that a lot of us take for granted. Most people don't know how to. Most people are horrible passers. You've played them in online ranked. You've seen me play them. You've seen other guys play them. Most people, if they can't run the ball, they can't move the ball. And running the ball and the run being easy keeps the casual player in the game. You can see me here. I'm just marching down the field. It's nuts. No one has consistent run defense that I know of. So the game has been overpatched, but not in the areas that anyone has really asked for. And a lot of people are very frustrated. All we want is for bugs and obvious flaws to be cleaned up as best we can. And then we'll adapt to the game, or at least we should. Outside of stuff that is just obvious that needs to be tweaked and fixed, buggy and glitchy stuff, we should be able to adapt to how the game is designed to play for the most part. But it just is puzzling to me, the feedback that's listened to, and how the main complaints for the majority of the quote-unquote hardcore Madden community, the front seven being lacking, and our defenders on the back end doing their job, is largely ignored. They tweak things to account for metas out of a particular formation, but they don't ever address the underlying problem, and it just causes more problems. So there you go. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed. Love to hear your thoughts. I'll talk to you all later. Peace.